Let's get cracking!
Welcome back, everybody, to Game 2 of the Dota 2 Champions League Season 3 playoffs. There we go. Now you can see me. Welcome back, guys. Na'Vi versus Roxkiss, Game 2. Roxkiss taking Game 1 in very good fashion, man. I think they made a couple mistakes going in. Some of those early team fights were a little off and gave Na'Vi a slight bit of hope, but I think otherwise, their strategy and execution were near perfect, man. Roxkiss looking very, very good, I'm sure. Of course, Na'Vi, it's been a little while since we've seen a few of those games, so maybe they're just a little bit rusty. At the same time, Roxkiss, I'm sure, have been boot camping up a storm in preparation for the TI4 qualifiers, which they obviously did very well. So, guys, let's go ahead and jump into Game 2. The draft is already underway. And go ahead and welcome in my co-caster, Pitmuckle's going to be joining me once again on the mic.
Cap, that's a very nice hat you have.
Thank you.
That's great. No, seriously.
Why are you laughing at my hat, pimp? Why are you laughing at my hat?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Listen, I just didn't feel like taking off my hat today.
Yeah, it's just cool, man. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
your laughter says you think it's not cool.
Quality broadcast. No, seriously. Yeah, I have to say, last game was crazy. Absolutely wonderfully done. Luna actually fit the lineup very, very well. So much early game and especially mid-game presence as well. Solo Breezemaster, yeah, I don't know. Solo Brewmaster was crazy. He was destroying Dandy in the mid lane and always those rotations. But this time around, it's a little bit different. Tree Protector is going to be picked up by Na'Vi, so I want to say this fits more of a Na'Vi playstyle for me. Because you have a Wisp, Kuroki Wisp most likely, and then you have Puppy on his tree. And offlane Phonic, this is pretty Na'Vi style. On the other hand, you're going to have a Brewmaster, but this time around you can actually deal with him. You have a Tree and Overgrowth, you're going to have your Sprout as well. You can try to just get someone very fast with your tether movement. You can deal with a Brew, which they couldn't in the last game. So yeah, this is looking way better than the last draft so far. But Mirana as well as Brew giving away those two is always kind of nifty. So yeah, I want to say most likely core Mirana. With a Brewmaster there as well in the mid lane, looks pretty good. Pair that with an active offlane and you got a nice lineup.
Yeah, I had to say the last game for me was all about the Brewmaster and how he, like basically him being able to have a good laning phase and being able to pick the fast Blink Dagger just snowballed everything for them because the Brewmaster was able to constantly put in pressure up against the SF, up against the Gyrocopter. They were finally able to win really one big team fight that got him to his level 2 ultimate with an Ags upgrade on top of it, which is just an overwhelming amount of team fight. And even once they did have BKBs, like, sure, then you're able to deal with the Brewmaster a little bit better. He's not totally unstoppable in team fights. By that time, the Luna was coming in with all that physical damage. So, for me, it was just the Brewmaster that made everything go right for Roxkiss. And the fact that they have it again makes me a little bit concerned for Na'Vi, especially since they get one of the best counters to the Brewmaster on their side for Roxkiss. They go ahead and grab themselves the Disruptor. Maybe a little bit of block pick, honestly. I'm not a big fan of block picking, and I don't think many picks can actually be called block picking, but Disruptor is just a strong support in general, and if you have the chance to take it away from Na'Vi, why not? But as I say that, I realize, well, Na'Vi already have their two supports. Wisp and the Terrain Protector, the two supports that normally you would classify as pretty passive, but the Wisp Terrain Protector combo is actually super, super aggressive, and we've seen it dominate the early game time and time again. So we'll see what Roxkiss have to do with this. Couple of bans coming out. Gyrocopter and the Invoker were banned away by Roxkiss, so they take away some of the early team fighters. I think the Invoker especially is a hero that you don't want to deal with when you have the Brewmaster on your side. And then the Shadow Demon Centaur being banned away by Na'Vi. They want to take away the obvious combination there, the Shadow Demon Rana setup, but also the Centaur, one of the more aggressive offlaners that did prove to be quite the problem last game for Na'Vi.
I'm also very surprised to see once again Roxkiss banning out the Tinker. Last game around it was banned out as a third or fourth ping. I think it was a fourth ban.
Yes, it was.
And this time around it's a second. So they just don't want to face a Tinker. Like, do you have any insight in this, or just? I don't know. Like it feels crazy. I think Tinker is very much. I mean, he's a great hero. Don't get me wrong, but you can deal with it.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why they put so much emphasis on the Tinker. I mean, It's not specifically, it can't be just because like, oh, Na'Vi, they really good Tinker. Like they have a really good everything, right? So it's not like the Tinker is to be all feared. It's, I don't know, maybe just the lineup itself, the fact that they want to be aggressive and up in their face. They don't want to deal with any sort of like split pushing going on. They don't want to be having a really good turtler that's spamming out March of the Machines constantly. Like that would be something that's a big issue because the Brewmaster, he jumps in behind enemy lines oftentimes. He throws down the clap, he pops the ultimate, and you're expecting the rest of the team to follow him up, but if he's jumping in when there are 2 or 3 sets of March of the Machines already down on the field, you're actually jumping into quite the disadvantage. So I think it's more about the turtling and the split pushing aspect of the Tinker than anything else. But I really wouldn't value it that highly. Abaddon's going to be picked up by Roxkis, so typically old GoBlack grabs himself that famous support hero that no one else values quite as much as he does. The Nyx Assassin banned away by Na'Vi, while the Luna is going to be taken out by Roxkis.
Yeah, so Na'Vi still, they do have some options here for the carry. I'm kind of surprised to see them picking up a puck this early on. Because they usually really like to wait with the mid pickup, so then they can have a great reign over the mid lane. But last game around, it didn't work out at all. The Shadow Fiend got utterly crushed, but Solo was playing an absolutely excellent not Beastmaster, it's a Brewmaster, Mr. Pimp. I have no idea what I'm having on. And
it starts with a B, it ends in Master, you know, it's okay.
Whoa, Alchemist carry. I mean, we didn't see this in a long time.
Yeah, getting Havos back.
I love this. TI3 Grand Finals. Here we go again. Let's do this. Want to see some Havos jukes and... Ooh.
And my God.
This might be 4 position Bloodseeker. No, okay.
No. BZ's picking this one up, and that means we have Seedoy grabbing the Mirana. So they're either planning to run, I think that what their plan is, the Abaddon Mirana off lane, the Disruptor Bloodseeker in the safe lane position, and put Brewmaster in the mid.
You could have went with a carry Abaddon.
yeah, we could always see that. Maybe Lotus style. So I do really like the Alchemist. I think that was an extremely smart pickup there from Na'Vi, because he's a tanky hero that is going to be able to outcarry the Mirana, but can deal with the Brewmaster's early aggression. So in general, I think that was a good idea for them to go for that kind of carry, even though he's a little bit atypical right now. We haven't seen too many now you got me started. Not too many Alchemist carries of late. I still think that it fits their lineup really well. And the Wisp on top of it will just mean that Havos' Alchemist should be able to outcarry anything BZZ and the rest of his guys can throw at him. So they not only get themselves a good mid-game hero that's going to be able to deal with the pressure, but also they now have the late game, I feel, pretty assured, especially when you throw a Furion in the midst as well. So it's going to be up to Roxkis. They had a little bit more late game potential last time, I think, with the Luna. This time around, though, they are entirely focused on the mid-game and do not want this game to stretch out late.
Yeah, absolutely not at all. But this time around, Na'Vi can actually deal with it. They've got some anti-push. They've got some split push as well. So you can actually just force Roxkis to defend the towers if you want to. And this time around, it also doesn't look too crazy here. Kuroki is going to be having a good time. No problem at all. Solo checking the Roshan. Not entirely sure and don't think he could have done this as easy. Arrow's also coming through, but yeah, that's pretty much it. This should be early game aggression. Prior to 0 minutes. And good old lane's coming out, but... Is Roxkis going to be going aggro try here?
So the other option could have been BZZ in that mid position, and maybe they run some sort of aggro try of their own with either the Brewmaster or the Mirana. Not really sure which one you would value more in this position. Looks like they want to be able to dodge the aggro try coming out from Na'Vi, which the Wisp Train Protector, we already talked about how powerful that combo is, but the Alchemist is really strong in lane due to the fact that he is able to lead with a stun. So if you don't have a stun combo here from your supports, which they do not, then you're made up by the fact that you have a carry that's able to provide that stun. So their aggro try should be pretty decent here, but overall, I think GoBlack, especially the Abaddon, is going to be able to be enough to save them. I don't really see them being able to pick up a Seedoy unless he gets caught out here and Sable Concoction's going to go off and GoBlack is nowhere to be found here. The double damage tree and Protector just creaming that Mirana and First Blood going to go to Havos.
Yeah, this is so much damage and also double damage up on the tree and this is brutal. He hits like a truck already and now, well, you just slammed the door shut up on the Mirana and okay, so you're going to have an issue here. Because there's like a full half level on everyone in the bottom lane. So whenever there's like 2 waves dying, Puppey is gonna have heal. Kuroki is gonna have any sort of spirits, which are dealing a crap ton of damage early on. And then Khobos is gonna have an acid spray. I don't think you really want to go back there as soon as those guys hit level 2. Oh, maybe they do. Okay. Okay.
Oh my god.
I think it's risky.
Have you seen this set on this
What?
Furion? What? He doesn't even have items.
No.
What is that scepter?
There is something very wrong. So this is the size of ice.
Yeah, but it's...
Okay, Volvo, please fix. Anyways, maybe action bottom lane? No. Okay.
No, but the good thing about this defensive tri-lane coming out from KIS is that Mirana, once you hit level 2, and they have Goldblock in a position. The problem was that Goldblock was not in a position to be able to get off the Aphotic Shield. If they'd just been able to instantly Aphotic Shield the Mirana as soon as the Unstable Concoction hit, then she walks away for free, right? They've already blew their slow. They already blew everything else. Seedoy should have been fine, but Goldblack was in the position. They weren't expecting that early aggression. They weren't expecting the double damage rune. So Seedoy got caught, but once he has level 2 especially, then they've got 2 different escapes, right? He's got the leap and the Aphotic Shield to be able to rely on, and he's a ranged hero, so he should still be able to pick up some CS despite the aggression of Na'Vi. So I think overall, this tri-lane should be able to do all right, in which case you're leaving a Bloodseeker one-on-one up against a Puck, which is a great matchup for the Bloodseeker. Like, Funnick cannot do enough harassment up against BZZ because he's got a poor man's shield, plus he's got a hatchet, so he's always picking up last hits. He's always getting that extra bit of health regen from being able to get those kills. And this is just going to turn into a huge CS lead for BZZ.
Yep, and there we go. Once again, they tried to go in, but Goblek very well on his timings there and getting the missed call damage. Self-damage of 75, and he denies himself, so well done from Goblek. But yeah, I have to say, all those 1v1 matchups are actually surprisingly good looking. Also, I know why there is no items. These are Funnick's items on Dendi. This is why it's bugging out. And Dendi doesn't have items equipped or something. Until when Dendi dies and he respawns, we're gonna see his real items.
Still, though, that's Scepter.
Got him.
That's Scepter, though. It's crazy as hell.
Yeah, it looks crazy.
It's all blue.
I agree. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's not cheap at all.
And it's got a different animation as well.
I don't think so. No. Anyways, Puppey has got an arrow into his face, but he's gonna be fine. Kuroki, you know, Tether's pretty good when you have tangos going, as well as the tree armor on the Wisp, and now they're gonna be trying to go up here. Goblek gets a stun in the face, and Sedoy's kind of singled out here. Has to be careful. He's got a leap though. Can use it over the ledge, and decides it's not time yet. Goes to CS. Oh my goodness. And they're not done chasing. Cap, what do you think about this here?
I don't know. This is a little bit too much aggression from them. They can't be diving into towers or anything like that. They put down some good harassment, so what Na'Vi did was fine. I also like the fact they tried to split up their damage a little bit. They forced Goldblack to get away from the Rana, because if they stun up Goldblack and focus him down, they can absolutely kill him. The problem is that in these normal lane situations, Goldblack should be always sitting behind Seedoy. When they get into those crazier jungle engagements, it's a little bit harder. Things get a little bit more chaotic and more difficult for Goldblack to be able to read and where his positioning should be. Should he be closer to the Mirana to make sure he gets off the quick Aphotic Shield, or does he need to sit farther back to make sure he's not the one targeted by that unstable concoction stun?
Yeah, it's so hard to call. I want to say I prefer the Abaddon to just stay behind and dispel whoever gets gun on, and then just heal him up and try to go around. Because this is so much damage. A level 1 shield is already up on 110 maximum damage, and now they're going to be trying to go top lane, but BZZ's kind of fast here. They have to bring
Furion's coming in, though. They got enough damage here. Mistcoil's going to come out, the Aphotic Shield as well, coming in from the Goldblack, who makes the rotation, but the 4-hero rotation there is going to be too much, so Bloodseeker will be shut down finally, but still, he's still very far ahead of Funnick. I mean, just take a look at that CS. They had 2 melee heroes going up against 2 relatively weak range heroes that wouldn't be able to provide enough harassment. So the melee heroes always had an advantage when it comes to CS, and you could see that massively. 33-6 on the Brewmaster, 27-11 on the Bloodseeker. So many denies just because why not? On a Bloodseeker, you have so much incentive to deny, being able to get health back from those last hits. So they're still at a lead. It was a necessary invasion, though, I think, by Na'Vi. They needed to sort of make those kind of rotations over.
Yeah, Khobos, he's standing up Sedoy, so he was kind of gun on here, but he's going to have his level 6 very, very soon, so I don't think... Yeah, this is classical Khobos. He's just going to stay in the lane, try to leech experience, and blocking the creeps, maybe? No, he's actually heading back to base. All right. Wouldn't have minded to see him just go ahead and try to reach level 6 and then have his ultimate ready to go and don't care about it.
I think he wants to farm out the top lane. Funnick is about to get to the point where, well, as I say that, he picks up the phase boots. But I was going to say he is going to get to a point where he's going to have that fast blink dagger and can start making rotations. Here with this, I think the phase boots, like obviously the blink dagger is great and everything else, but the phase boots comes online a little bit easier. You can start making those rotations a little bit faster as well. I'm surprised that Funnick didn't go for the phase boots earlier. If that was in his mind, I'm surprised he didn't go for it right away, considering he's up against a Bloodseeker and he needs that extra attack damage early on in the lane.
Yeah, I want to say, yeah, he could have gone this a tad earlier. At the same time, you're getting destroyed with this Bloodseeker, so I guess when he wouldn't have felt so comfortable in this lane still, he would have just went for the Blink Dagger and roamed around. At the same time, you're going to be giving a Bloodseeker a bit of free farm here, and he's also not that scary because he's got Bloodbath on level 3. Let's see if he can survive this here. This could be huge. Funnick does have an ultimate. Let's go.
He should be gun. Go Black is going to wait for the Aphotic Shield. Takes away the lead seed. Now he's actually going to turn onto Puppey. If he gets the kill, he's going to be fine. He heals up a little bit. Now moves on for more. Funnick is already low. The orb comes down. BZZ has to play a little careful. Heal gets another miscoil. Now pursues onto Funnick. Gets those right clicks in. Funnick still trying to get away. The silence may be able to finish him off. Yol goes down on the side. And the Disruptor does get the kill on the puck. BZZ barely walks away from Dendi with just 40 health.
Yeah, this is so damn close, so unfortunate. Then he TP'd and he can't really find something here. He did get one kill, I think. Yeah, he did. Alright, so that's a nicely done, I want to say, gank here. At the same time, this is an Nature's Prophet who is getting his tower pushed in, and the mid-tier one is so crucial for the die, and oh, maybe they're going to be finding here BZZ? No. Well, he's playing very aggressive, though.
Yeah, he's sticking around with just the tangos because he assumes, like, he gets one last hit and he gets back a bit of health. And then he can feel better about going forward again and getting another last hit. But he doesn't realize that Funnick is making the rotation back to this top lane. BZZ just isn't really not expecting so many rotations to the top lane. He figures eventually they're going to try and go, like, put some heroes bottom, put some heroes in this mid lane that's taking a lot of tier 1 damage. But they don't have to. They can afford to let this tier 1 tower take some damage here and there because they have the living armor to be able to fall back on.
Uh-oh, Solo's got his Blink and he's got an Invis Rune, but there's a ward up here scouting everything of Solo's as well as Yol's movement out, and Yol doesn't have his level 6 yet, so he's not just as scary. And Revost is level 7. So this guy, this is one of the strengths of Revost. It doesn't matter really where he's going to be farming, he's always going to get ridiculously farmed.
Oh, they're committed a lot here.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, Havosti popped his ultimate expecting, he was like, oh, I'll be fine, I can deal with the Brewmaster ultimate. But when BZZ comes in as well, Rockskids give Na'Vi a little taste of their own medicine. Like, you're not expecting so many cores early on in the lane. He was expecting, like, Havost was expecting a Bloodseeker. Or not a Bloodseeker, a Brewmaster to run at him, hit a clap, hit an ultimate. He knew he could survive through that. He wasn't expecting the Bloodseeker to be making that kind of rotation. But hey, if BZZ's been shut out of the top lane, might as well return the favor to the to the Alchemist in the mid lane.
Yeah, but once again, Dendi's doing some absolutely excellent play here up on his Nature's Prophet so far, and he's trying to push down the tower. And with Phase Boots up onto Funnick, you do have the physical DPS, as well as, of course, Phase Boots up on the Nature's Prophet, in order to bring it down, and Funnick picks this one up. They all just get the hell out of there. There's so many rotations going on, and there is some recipe. The Hand of Midas for Dendi. Alright, so Dendi's going to be having a good time here. Mid-Nature's Prophet, face Midas. Not just as farmed, but he's going to be completely fine. And he's going to be just all over the map so far.
So Na'Vi, like, I like the aggression that they're putting down. At the same time, Rockskiss did really well in the laning phase. They still got the Bloodseeker and the Brewmaster up a lot of farm early on. BZZ's going for a quick Blade Mail, which makes sense up against heroes like the Puck especially, which is going to be really effective against him. I expected him to have a little bit more stat items, though, because I'm still afraid of him being bursted down. The problem with Bloodseeker is that he needs to be able to obtain the first kill in the team fight. Once he usually gets the first kill, he has enough health regained that he can continue that aggression, go for the next kill, and the next kill, and the next kill. The biggest fear for him is being bursted down, so I was kind of expecting him to go for a little bit more stat items into an earlier BKB. Not really the Blade Mail. We did see Funnick was able to get the kill on bottom Mirana. We do have the Kuro jumping away. Quick little tether, and Solo not going to be able to pursue. He doesn't have his ultimate just yet, so they might just be able to pick off Havost, though, because they do have the glimpse that's going to send Havost back. And now BZZ throws down the silence onto him, but Havost is still going to be able to just teleport himself away. Kuro, though, was not really expecting that teleport. and his tether ends up just putting himself in a bad position.
Yeah, and Kuro also doesn't have an overcharge, but still, he went for the tether. He's got one sip on the bottle off, so that was actually pretty well done still, and also used the magic one if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he was saving his carry there, and he's also going to be level 6 very, very soon. Of course, you want to have a level 6 up on the Wisp very, very soon in the game, but at the same time, you know, Revos is farming, Dandy is farming, Puck is now having a great time as well. So Phonic is on his way to the Blink deck. He's going to be having this one up very soon, and he just picked off a solo kill up onto Sedoy. So even though he got shut down very hard early on, well, Bloodseeker, he just doesn't do too much whenever he rotates out of the lane anymore. And yeah, now Puck is going to be having a great time just rotating.
Yeah, he's the Blink Dagger coming up for him means he doesn't really have to spend much more time farming up. One thing, though, is that Havos has been shut down pretty heavily, which is going to delay the carry Alchemist. And I say shut down just because of the fact he was kind of left alone at the bottom lane. Like, after they went for the basic aggro try, they ended up moving around a little bit afterwards. Havos went with some early aggression, right? He went for the maxed out Acid Spray, went for Unstable Concoction, because he knows he's going to be stacking up the Ancient, so he wants to be able to farm that. But he also wanted the early damage with Unstable Concoction and the Acid Spray combo as well, because they knew they were going for early kills. The problem was he hasn't been able to farm up very often. He's been so much focused on kills and everything else that he hasn't been able to pick up that much net worth. Jump in on mid, go black. His ultimate is popped here. He still has the Phonic Shield to be able to help him out. He's going to have to use the Mist Coil here to deny himself. But, oh, the Furion ult. He wasn't expecting that bit of burst damage. He already knew the Silence was out. The Dream Coil was just used, as well as the Orb. He was like, wait, time it, time it. All of a sudden, Furion denies it all with an ultimate coming in.
Yeah, this is what you want to have happen. Also, Dandy, I mean, if you kill someone, and it's the same with the Sunstrike, all across the map, you get full experience and as well as a lot of gold from it. So it is actually very, very good if someone steals you like this, because this guy is going to be scaling absolutely crazy in the mid game. And now BZZ once again mid lane, Orb is flying out, Phonic doesn't jaunt to it, doesn't want to commit to it, but he's got his Blink Dagger, he just showed it off, and yeah, there is going to be a lot more reactions going to be heading very, very soon. But so far, Na'Vi, I'm surprised they're not defending the tier 1 in top lane. I feel like they could maybe, I mean, not now anymore, but
yeah,
maybe
I'm surprised they aren't too, but I think it comes down to the fact that Havos doesn't want to take that fight.
Okay,
because he's farming up the Ancient stack. He wants to do that with the Acid Spray. He got at least one level of Grievel's Greed finally, so I think that's what he was waiting for, to farm it up. Because obviously even just one level of Grievel's Greed gives you so much extra farm. So he thought it was important to be able to get that. He's now farming it up, getting up his levels. He's going to finish off a Shadow Blade, which is also what... well, it should be a Shadow Blade. I don't really foresee Battle Fury as the item choice here for
I don't think so.
I think he's going to go full man mode here and go for double Shadow Blade, and they're just going to look for a lot of pickoffs and kills.
Yeah, speaking of pickoffs, Sedoy is just roaming to this enemy jungle, and they're going to be finding Puppy here. Does he have an Invis? No, he doesn't. They have the Moonlight Shadows. Where's their arrows going to clip? Yeah, easy kill. All right. But, you know, you lose a tree and... it's alright. It's not the biggest of deal. Moonlight Shadows is a long duration. And
I don't know. Solo does have his ultimate. I think they're going to look at that opportunity and go, the Train Protector's down. He's not going to be in position to defend, and it also means those first couple of seconds when we start pushing down this middle tier 2, there's going to be no living armor. Unfortunately, the death timers are really low, so already the Train Protector's back up, but he's still going to have to teleport out and get in position here. They don't have to push down the tower, but they can force Na'Vi to rotate in which case they can back up, go farm up their own jungle, do all those sort of other things. But Phonic is actually going to be silenced up here. Brewmaster pops his ultimate, now focusing down. Phonic will be able to pop him real quickly. Phase shift only dodges for just a second. BZZ kept alive by the Phonic shield. Now he's going to turn onto Puppy. If he can get the kill on Puppy, he's going to be fine. BZZ still running himself away, turns, fights a little bit, gets another Phonic shield, and doesn't get the kill for it, but he does get the regen anyway. Yol's going to die on the side as both Havos and the Furion were able to focus him down, but Roxy is still winning the fight. And I say 3 kills, but they might just find a 4th here. Dendi doesn't have a teleport for another 2 seconds. Shadow Blade up in the mana cost. He tries to deny himself the Ancients. That's his only hope. 10th to teleport, but gets silenced. BZZ was in position.
Why? I was not sure if he really wanted to go for the teleport or the Ancients. He decided to go for both. Alright, interesting. But you can't run against the Bloodseeker. It just doesn't work, and he was kind of low anyway, so yeah. Alright, Roxkiss, they win the fight. I was scared for them for just a second because Sedoy was like up here when the fight was kind of starting. But still, you know, it's a Mirana. You just leap. You're so fast anyways. And of course, Sudoi, he went for the face. So he's speedy. And yeah, Na'Vi just having not so much of a great fight. And it all comes down to Puppey. Because he isn't level 6. He couldn't stop anyone from destroying this Puck. Puck couldn't use his ult. Puck couldn't use his combination. Nothing. And if your Puck gets shut down, half your team fight is just gone.
First Shadow Blade usage by Havos is going to be a success as they pick off the Disruptor. However, oh, the arrow miss from Seedoy. Maybe if it had been able to land that, we do have the Wisp coming in on the side. They're going to try and pick off BZZ. Pops a Blade Mail, but he's not going to be able to output enough damage. Actually, the Phonics Shield, he's staying alive here. Phonics trying to commit to the kill. They still aren't getting it just yet. BZZ still kept alive. The Phonics Shield doing so much work for him. Now they're going to chase down Denny. Oh, barely the Sprout. Saves Denny a bit of time, but the arrow is on the mark, stopping that teleport away. And BZZ kept alive. Go Black. Man, this is why you saw the the Blade Mail pickup from BZZ. I wasn't sure if I respected the pickup. I thought you needed more stat items up against all this burst damage. But it's because he could depend on Go Black to be able to save him. Kuro's going to get picked off in the mid lane. Simple glimpse action.
Yeah, he was trying to perfectly tether away and didn't work out in the end. Was just a bit too fast. And also Bloodseeker, for the people who don't know, he is actually not capped on a max movement speed. So he was chasing after Dandy on like 609 movement speed, which is just absolutely ridiculous. And now he's going back for his Maelstrom. So this reminds me so much of how Axe is played. You just go like Blade Mail, usually there's a Blink Dagger, but when you're speed or like hasted anyways, or well above the haste threshold anyways, you just go for it. And some Lightning, it's pretty cool, I have to say. But Bloodseeker is still kind of squishy. I feel like this is some sort of risk here. And you mentioned this, if he can't find the opening kill, he's going to get shut down.
Yeah, but what I love about KIS, I think they have this strategy, whole entire planned out, is that the Bloodseeker realizes that, of course, Na'Vi are going to focus him down, right? They can't let him get that one kill that is able to regen him. Yep, Solo's in some trouble. Gets off the ultimate just in time. Ooh, now he can actually focus on Kuro. Might be able to get a return kill, but not going to get it. He's just going to have to run away with that ultimate. Still, though, that's a relocate down. They didn't use the overgrowth there, which is a little bit surprising. That could have been a good disable to use. He does Tornado up Alchemist. Maybe they can hold him in place long enough. Havost. Arrow comes in. Oh, beautiful. Now the unstable concoction is going to explode onto Havost. The follow-up clap. And even when Solo has to use defensively, somehow he has the right decision-making to be able to still ensure pick-off there. So they get Havost, now going to be able to 5-man down bottom, probably go for the tier 1 tower. And Na'Vi are going to be forced to try and make trades here. Dendy's already on that, pushing down the middle tier 1 tower, and it's going to go down in just a second. So Dendy gets himself even more farm, can start building into an early Scythe of Life if he wants to. I think that's going to be necessary up against the Bloodseeker. But what I wanted to go back to is, like, you talked about this build that's similar to an Axe, right? That you'll... Okay. Phonics picks up off. But it's just, it's similar to an Axe in that you go for the Blade Mail, you go for the Mjolnir. There's obviously no Blink Dagger, but those items aren't needed. That item isn't needed for BZC. He knows that Na'Vi are going to be focusing him. And normally, most Bloodseekers would be going for, you know, maybe a drums or some sort of stat item like that, build into an earlier BKB, because the biggest fear is you being popped early on. But they know Na'Vi's going to focus him down, and they're going to use that to their advantage by going for Blade Mail, which is decent stats overall for Bloodseeker. It helps him out a little bit here, but also reflects a lot of that damage because he knows he's going to be targeted. And then it's going to turn that into a Mjolnir, which is a good damage item, but also is really useful when you're being targeted like that, and Go Black is going to be there keeping him alive. Roshan, Go Black's going for it here. He's right up in the face. Aegis is going to be snagged here by Dendy, who's going to be grabbing it while his Shadow Blade and the rest of BZZ and his guys need to get out here. The Unstable Concoction is going to be able to land on the Bloodseeker. It's kept alive, though. Solo gets a 4-man club, pops the ultimate. Oh, Puck barely able to get away on the side. Looks like Miran's trying to focus him down, but doesn't get it, as Dendy has just way too much damage. The Brewmaster ultimate is able to kill 2 or 3 heroes. Puppey barely able to get away. No! Go Black got it with the miscoil there. And now Dendy's going to fall in the side as they reveal him with the dust. There goes that Aegis. And there goes his second life as well, as he doesn't have a Shadow Blade and he won't be able to teleport away in time. So BZZ and the rest of KIS come away with another big team fight win, and now going to turn this into a tier 2 tower.
I'm very surprised how this fight went. When this fight started, there was Solo. He was pretty much here, like just outside of his tier 2 mid. And also, I think Sedoi wasn't there as well. Now sort of trying to go for Funnick. Funnick, well, Funnick, please. Oh, you can blink. Maybe?
He should be fine. Phase shift and the blink away. No, he gets hit before that. Now the silence goes off. Disruptor pops his ultimate, holding Havost in place. The Shadow Blade is gone down. Solo slows him up a little bit with a clap on the side. They do kill the Wisp. Havost now going for Godblack, is going to try for this kill. Unstable Concoction, but at the Aphotic Shield, he's going to get away. The Kinetic Field's going to hold Havost in once again, and Havost is going to get popped. Dendi trying to lay down the right clicks where he can, but it's just not enough. He's going to be chased down by BZZ, who sees him exactly where he's at. Gets that kill. Now back to the tier 2 once again. Na'Vi losing fight after fight after fight. I gotta say, Roxkiss, I wasn't too sure about this Bloodseeker pickup, but Godblack, he's the mad drafter, man. He knows exactly. He has really well put together strats, and this is one of them. Running the Abaddon with the Bloodseeker, I think, was a beautiful amount of synergy, and once he has the Mjolnir, it's going to get that much better.
You know what's crazy? The gold graph. Because Na'Vi is not getting crushed too much in gold, which is absolutely crazy. I have no idea how this is actually happening.
They're always farming so much better than Roxkiss. Even though they're losing fight after fight like this, they did get Roshan, which was helpful, obviously. But the stacking of Ancients, the Alchemist, obviously being able to have that constant gold advantage, even if he didn't level up Grievel's Greed early on, he still has it now. So he's gaining a big gold advantage through that. So Na'Vi are always farming much better than Roxkiss, but Roxkiss, that's not really their forte here with this lineup. Their forte is trying to force those fights. They should be massively ahead in experience, but I'm not too surprised that Na'Vi are still in this in Gold Graph.
Yeah, the thing is, Roxys have to keep up this aggression. So far, they're doing an absolutely excellent job, and also Solo is heading back for a casual cloak, so even a bit more, like every little bit of this stuff helps. He doesn't want to get killed before he can use his ultimate, and it's a negative scepter roll, so you just don't want to get crushed. Oh, Solo, he's trying to go for Funnick. He's actually going for this here.
He does have a Yule Scepter, though, and a phase shift after this, so he should be able to dodge enough. Actually, this is the Disruptor. He's not in range. Funnick, he's going to turn around, throw it out, coil, but there's no teleports in, meaning there's going to be no aggression off of that coil. The rest of Na'Vi are just trying to farm. They're staying away from these team fights.
Solo is like... Solo's playing this out so crazy. I don't know.
Just diving in off their Funnick time and time again, because they know they can bully Na'Vi out. He's got all of his backup necessary, so it's not like he's going to be punished by teleports coming in. They know Navi's going to go for split push. It's why Dendi's playing this Nature's Prophet in the mid, because Na'Vi have to focus on split push in order to draw this game out, get that Alchemist to the carry position so they can start winning these team fights. The problem is Roxkiss are at their peak of their strength right now. The next 5 to 10 minutes is really when Roxkiss control the game rather heavily.
All right, so what do you think about Mantasol picked up by Sedoi?
You know, I would almost say that this is one of those games where I'd like to see maybe an early Desolator, BKB Desolator. Maybe. Instead, he goes for the more standard Manta. I'm a little bit concerned that they're not going to be able to push down these towers fast enough, and that's why I would suggest Deso. It's a rare item to see in the Mirana. You don't get it very often, and it leaves her super squishy, which would be a problem going up against Dendi, who, well, he's actually going to go for a BKB next.
Do they have not
the dust revealed him.
They do.
Yeah, they're going to hold him in with the kinetic field, and Dendi can't teleport away or anything. He attempts to, but he knew he was just going to be glimpsed.
Yeah, exactly. It's so hard to pull off. And also, there would have been a Static Storm ready to go if... I mean, it's smart.
Solo.
Now, Solo's actually...
Oh, beautiful. Arrow actually landed on Havost. They still got the stun onto Solo, but a big Starstorm will be able to eliminate the Wisp instantly out of the team fight as BZZ blows his ultimate. Now going to be able to clean up Puppy, and they just surround poor Havost, who's going to get cleaned up as well. Good use of the silence there, making sure the Chemical Rage didn't go out after he was done being stunned. And now Roxkiss, well, they've got a double damage. They still have the Brewmaster ultimate. Why not make use of it and start focusing down this tier 3 tower?
Oh, wow, Roxkiss, I mean. All right, well, fact of the matter is you don't need a Desolator when there's no one up on the side of Na'Vi to defend, right? Oh, yeah. Speaking of, Puck, Funnick is trying really hard.
Glimpse back now. Possible Static Storm, not even necessary. They got the silence on Puck. Man. Roxkiss just destroying beyond godlike now on BZZ's Bloodseeker, who Sure enough, he's going to build into a heart, make sure that he's kind of unkillable. Just because he can depend on GoBlack to be able to heal him and Photic Shield and make sure he doesn't get popped doesn't mean you should never go for any sort of health items whatsoever. So he's going to build into a heart next. I think that's a smart idea. And after that, well, Roxkiss, they could just 5-man again. 5-man down through the bottom lane. Control the map a little bit. Wait for the next Roshan. They have so many different options here for Roxkiss because they still have some growth, right? Like the Mirana is not a bad carry. The Bloodseeker can certainly build into a lot more items. He's actually really scary with the Blood Rage that has been buffed up in the past time and time again. It seems like every little patch you have a small buff to Blood Rage. And now Bloodseeker getting to a point where you can't, it's not dispelled by magic immunity, which is good for him and good being used up against enemies. It's got more damage than it used to. It's all around a much better ability, and it's going to make him quite the danger when it comes to this right-click damage. They may not actually, I was concerned about their physical damage, but now they think about Blood Rage, it's actually quite fine. They don't need a Desolator.
Yeah, Chavos is trying to get out. Oh, do they have a gem?
Oh, they can see him now. The Bloodseeker's got the scent and going to be able to track him down. Havos falls.
Oh, man.
Unstable concoction, sending them both of them up for a second. And Denny now doing the only thing he can, pulling an Ohio over here, trying to stop the creep wave. But a couple of creeps got through, and that's all Roxkiss really needs. Just a couple of creeps, and that'll allow them to go uphill without backdoor protection.
Yeah, and there's no Denny ultimate up for another 60 seconds, so even though he's trying and he's doing a good job so far, this is just so hard, man. Alright, so Solo, this Abaddon pick is just working wonders here. They didn't lose the lanes just as hard as they should have been just because of the Abaddon pick, and yeah, let's see if Na'Vi can defend this, because I have no idea how.
Oh, Funnick going to do another typical maneuver, tries to get as much damage onto Roxkiss early on. Loosen him up a little bit for the rest of the team to come defend, but they're just not in a position to, not without Havos, and that may mean the melee Rax goes down before they even force the fight. Arrow's going to come through. Good use of the dodge with the phase shift going out. We do have Kuro, who's going to be cleaned up soon. We have the Maelstrom BZZ, pops a Blade Mail and the static charge onto him, and is going to be able to reflect a lot of the damage, but Na'Vi are just on full-on retreat, trying to get back to the fountain. Havos, the only hero who can actually deal with some of this damage, but they can't lay down anybody. GoBlack can keep alive the squishier heroes, and the tanks are just impossible to kill. So GG is called by Puppey, and Roxkiss taking down Na'Vi in style here, 2-0.
Crazy. The thing is, I mean, sometimes Na'Vi practice, then they look pretty good. Sometimes they don't, and they still look extremely good. But this time around, you know, just didn't look so well. All this EU hub couch action, Super Smash Bros. Melee not paying off too much. Kind of shame, I have to say. Yeah, especially the second draft is so, I don't know, it's like so active. This could have been a really good game. Instead, just Roxkiss destroying way too much.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's been over like 2 weeks since Na'Vi have had an official match, so it's not a surprise that they're a little bit rusty, and Roxkiss are obviously been practicing quite a bit in order to get ready for those big matches. So it's not a surprise that they're still looking strong and are going to move on into the quarterfinals to face up against Fnatic, who are already laying in wait due to their strong positioning in the group stage. So that is going to be the next match for them, but that is actually going to be the last match of the night. It's been a while since we had one of these, so just like come in, cast one series, and go home. But today was the easy day, man. We had like a 13-hour day yesterday, but tonight, just one series and we're done. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Okay, so I have to say this at the end of the broadcast because we always get questions about it. It will be up on YouTube. The VODs will be up on YouTube 48 hours after the broadcast. So 48 hours, they go up on YouTube. However, the VODs are instantly up on, well, instantly, quote unquote. As soon as I close down the broadcast, I take the VODs, I put them up onto Daily Motion. So there are Daily Motion VODs for you to be able to watch. So if you missed the first game, want to be able to check it out, go check out the Daily Motion VODs or wait 48 hours and it'll be up youtube.com/joindota. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. My co-caster, follow him at PitMuckle. You can follow myself at Dota Capitalist. And that's it for the night. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow where we have the ESL 1 Asia qualifier. That is going to be going on. Toby's going to be casting that one. And that starts at 13 CEST. That's grand finals between Vici Gaming and LGD. And that will be happening on Twitch TV /JoinDotaReds. So that's the next time we'll see you guys. Good night.